Well, just getting out here to North Carolina, traveling through snow and mountains, West Virginia, and finally here, 41 degrees, sun is out here at Gwyn Motorsports. He's got 100 yards of lighted playground. This is incredible. So really looking forward to this weekend, and this is the Ray Peters Clinic, and I'll tell you more about that in a future video. But just play riding today on Friday, and we're out here working on ride-ups. I found my buddy Scott. More gas. More and sooner. Yes. That felt better, didn't it?
One more.
Yes. Now we are going to talk plenty more about ride-ups this weekend. That was a major focus point for me, but we also had to get in some turns. So this hillside is so much steeper than it looks. I'm telling you, slippery, and I'll show you some examples right now. Come on! Polish it, yes. There it is. Woo.
Watch it right in the middle of the daggum turn.
That would be the trick.
Do it in one motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and plan ahead and be in the right spot.
Instead of doing half of it and going, I wonder what I should do during the next part of this.
Yank.
Now all these video clips are just us play riding after the clinic. I did specifically go down there to video the Ray Peters Trials Clinic. However, we're not going to get into that content here. I'll tell you more about that later. This is just us play riding, working through tight turns, cambers, things of that sort. He's working it. He's going to be exhausted, but he's working it. Nice, go! Oh! First attempt, baby. First try. Now, I told Ray specifically I wanted to work on my ride-up technique. This double tire setup was definitely one of the more challenging ride-ups for sure. And we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. Before we do, I do want to show you these levers that Ray has designed and 3D printed. These are actually a clutch or a brake lever, so it's got the option to go on either side. These are 3D printed. These are really cool. I talked about this previously in a video with Seth in the winter time, not holding on to cold aluminum. These are wonderful. I asked Ray for a few more of these. He had to quickly 3D print them, so he didn't have a chance to cut them out, as he brought me about 4 of these. And so just want to let you guys know these are available on his shop on Etsy. You can check them out. I think they're a great backup lever, and you may find them extremely useful. Now, that night I said, hey Ray, let's pull out the video footage. I really want to work through this ride-up and try and figure out what I'm doing wrong. So the first thing he noticed was that my knees are not nearly as bent forward. So specifically, I'm not weighting the front of the bike. I'm not compressing the forks as he is, and I'm getting behind the bike. So my hips, even from the start, are further behind than his are. He's also standing up sooner, so you can see his knees are not nearly as bent as mine are. He didn't start from nearly as crouched of a position, and already his hips are still in line with that rear axle, and mine are way behind. This is something that I was just happy to get up. Honestly, I wanted to concentrate on just giving it enough RPM in order to get up and on top of this obstacle, but you can see the amount of rear tire kick off the obstacle here in the bottom footage. My rear tire actually kicks even further away from the obstacle, whereas his continues to ride up. So I'm just crouching too much. There's a lot of things I'm still trying to work on, and so go figure. He tells me all that at that night at the Airbnb, and so the next morning I said, I just want to go work on that leg thing specifically. So taking these feedback things and then dialing it down to a less scary obstacle. You can see my knees are much more bent, compressing that front fork, but my legs aren't really extending. So here I am on the obstacle and my knees are still too bent. So I watched some video, then went back and said, okay, I'm going to try and fix that. I specifically watched video, work on it, come back, look at the video, and then go try and make those corrections. So extending my legs a little more and trying some different obstacles, some of these logs, as you can see, Abigail going up this one. this is something that takes time, watching video back and forth, trying to iron out those details and the subtleties that are often so difficult to notice. Now, this particular obstacle, I kept skid plating the night before. It was really frustrating. It's very sharp, very steep. And so the skid plate was something that I just kept banging. You can see Jeremy Hadley going up this one fairly easily, but it wasn't necessarily an easy obstacle. You can see a couple examples of just the struggles of getting up it because it was so sharp. Now, ideally, if I graze the front tire, that's actually going to assist with the rotation. Here's Ray demonstrating getting up there. And of course, he's not hitting the skid plate at all. So I continued to work on this even after a tight turn. You can see I'm actually jumping a little bit. So this unload is not necessary. This is almost a zap or a splat where I'm unloading and that rear tire is lifting before the face, whereas Ray's is just driving right in there. So still working through some of that, but also having some play ride fun right here. Now, if you haven't seen Ray's single blip zap, this is a thing of beauty here. There's just one blip of the throttle, no clutch, and you can see that rear tire lifting like crazy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the footage up here at Kenny Gwyn's. This is Trials Paradise. Just got done with the Ray Peters Clinic, and I asked Kenny to tell us a little bit about the place.
Yeah, okay, so we're here in North Carolina. I've kind of got into trials about 4 years ago, and I jumped in with both feet. I've been pushing the rock uphill, so nobody around here even knew what a trials bike was. And since then, in the last year, I've become a dealer for TRS, Beta, and Electric Motion. We ride here 2 or 3 days a week. I got 100 yards of lit course. We do my claim to fame is I do the try before you buy here. You can come, you can bring a buddy if you got a couple of buddies or a friend that wants to get into trials. You come down here and you rent a bike for the day. I only charge $100 to rent a bike. You can ride it all day long. I do a package where you can rent the bike. I can get 2 hours of lessons and you can ride it all day long. You can ride every demo bike I got, anything I got, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, 250, 300, whatever you want to ride, 125s. We'll put you on every bike. You rent one bike, you get to try them all. At the end of the day, if you buy a bike, I apply the rent back to it. So it's the try before you buy. You can't beat it. We've got, and Tom will tell you, there's some stuff here. We got obstacles out the galore. I got a 9-mile training loop here. I do training on enduro bikes, trials bikes, and adventure bikes. I'm doing this full time. I'm trying to make a living in the trials community, which is very tough if people are not aware. There's not a lot of money in it, but I've got a passion for trials, and I love seeing these guys come in. We had Ray here this weekend. This is like the 8th time Ray's been here, and the class is phenomenal. I guess if you're gonna see some footage from it, I've got obstacles set up, and it's set up from literally for novice to expert. There's champ stuff here. There's a lot of stuff that we have, so no matter what level of rider you are, you can come down here. The facility is open on weekends and during the week. If you like I say, if you can camp, there's primitive camping here. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we'd love to have y'all come see us here in North Carolina.
Awesome. Thanks for having us out
Yes,
this
sir.
weekend.
Appreciate it, Tom.
See you guys.